This is another movie review. I just came from the theater here in New York City. I went to the Quad Cinema on 13th Street. Cute little multiplex, 4 screens, I believe. I like this theater. I haven't been there in a really, really, really long time. I know Paris is Burning was shown there. Iconic little theater in New York City. It has a cafe with a bar and everything, with espresso, good coffee, cocktails. Really nice space. Really nice. After today's visit at the Quad, I think I will try to see whatever movie that I'm interested in seeing, give the Quad a try before going to the bigger theaters. Also, this theater had a gender neutral bathroom that you would need to ask the staff to open up for you. And I feel that's a really good option for trans folks at this time, especially. So crazy out there. It's getting kind of hectic. But not too hectic enough to see another great movie. I'm so glad I went to see this movie. And it wasn't on the top of my list, but that's not true. It was on my list because it's an Oscar nominated movie. The movie is Conclave. Okay. I wasn't in a rush to see Conclave because of the church factor. And let me just explain a bit that I have no problems with the church. Okay. In fact, as a child, I felt church was the safest place to be with my family. And if you've seen my movie review on Amelia Perez, when I talk about the environment that I grew up in as a child with bickering and arguing and all of that, on Sundays when the family was going to church was the quietest, most gentlest time for me as a child to be with my family. So I looked forward to going to church, and there was something about the Catholic Church that when I walked in, the stained glass, the light shining through the stained glass, the quietness, the stillness, the candles, the energy was just so peaceful. And we were all dressed in our Sunday best, and there was going to be a big meal. And I have to be honest, being the little eater that I liked, that I still am. Like, I like to eat. I like to eat a lot of good food. And Sunday was going to be a lot of good food, Easter Sundays, Christmas, all the religious holidays is a big meal. So the church was really something that I felt I was gravitated to, and then gravitated enough that I had a desire to be an altar boy. And so I was an altar boy for a little bit there in Brooklyn, where I grew up, and I loved it. I loved it. It wasn't about like the long robes and being able to wear a long robe, and I was into like wearing a robe. No, I just wanted to partake and be part of the church and work up there on the stage. Could have been that I wanted the attention in that way, being a part of the church with the priest and being center stage. I hate to put it like that, but yeah. And then also I knew it would get me even further away physically from my family. And I could look down at my family and laugh at them and giggle. I would do that. I was like, those sick bastards. I can't stand being around them. I'm all the way over here. I'm an altar boy. You're all over there, Really, I did feel that. I'm like, oh, I'm more connected to God than y'all are. That's what I felt like as a kid. Yeah. So the church was cool by me. It really was. I always, always enjoyed the church. As an adult, I had periods of my life where I was going to the church on a regular. There's Unity Church. There's First Church of Religious Science. I took to that. Stuart Grayson, a lot of these spiritual speakers, reverends, pastors. I believe in God. Always have. And God don't make junk. And God loves everybody. I don't want to get into a lot of God stuff on this. They were trying to conceal something about the Pope's death. They were electing a new Pope, and it seemed a lot like a political party event. The liberal against the conservatives. And what they did at the end, they voted someone that among the group of candidates, priests that could be popes, a priest that came out of nowhere that no one knew, but the Pope that had just passed knew, and that he was part of the Catholic Church as a priest, serving in areas that were dangerous and serving, the communities spiritually in those areas as a priest. the least known out of the group, but yet with all the conflict that was happening to nominate a new priest within the priesthood, he was the sanest and seemed like the one that was closest to living by God's words and philosophy and openness and acceptance of all people. Definitely there was some unrest in these priests looking to vote for the new pope. There was a lot of like terror attacks that were happening, and people were dying from these terrorist attacks due to the religious conflicts of almost like political parties. Was it going to be a conservative priest, a liberal? And I don't want to give it away, but the movie ending was not what I thought it was going to come up as the reality in this story. But I was very happy to see that the writing of the story, the book that it was based on, and how this came out in the movie was something to really think about. Who actually ended up being the Pope, the new Pope. So this is not as well put as Amelia Perez. I'm not going to cry on y'all. But at the end, I felt joy that stories in these days, in these years, are so complex and inclusive to like all these different possibilities that could happen. I know that's kind of vague, but I had no idea that this story was gonna give light to different individuals. I don't want to give this ending away. I don't want to do a spoiler alert on y'all. But if y'all enjoy religion and church and you believe in spirituality, not so much the practice of religion in church, but what is beyond religion is spirituality and inclusiveness and kindness to all. And if you feel the church has anything like that still about its ways, then maybe you want to see this movie, because the actors, all of them were great and superb, and it was beautiful, and it will give you insight to how this election for the Pope is, and the whole ceremonial aspects of this was just really clear and very beautiful here. I'm sure that's very real. And the story underneath it and what transpires and how this story ends, where the public is very, very happy with the Pope that's chosen, is really an interesting reflection. What kind of individual could really be the most passionate in serving God and serving the Catholic Church? It's like the least likely suspect, is the most spiritually grounded and connected than all the rest of them. It's like a show. Who's going to be the senator? Who's going to be the congressman? Who's going to be, who's going to be up in the ranks, to rule things? And it ended up being someone really humble and passionate about love and acceptance. If this makes any sense, I don't know how I'm going to do editing this, because like I said, I just got home from this movie, but I don't want to spoil it. It was just terrific, terrific, terrific movie. So I hope you watch it if you like these kind of movies. It's not for everyone, but excellent, excellent movie. So that's it for me. Hope y'all are doing well. Remember to like and subscribe, y'all, please. I would appreciate it. Yeah, just check out my other movies. Check out my music here on the IMT Junito Perez Project and Soraya Sobeda, which is me. All right, y'all. So you take good care. Thanks for watching this with me. And go see Conclave. Go see it. Go see it. Go see it. Okay, y'all. Bye. Trans Mama loves you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.